Good morning, everybody. See now, my dear friends, we shall go to the another problem now. Okay, I will read the problem now. A floor section of channel shape has an overall width of 300 mm and overall depth of 300 mm. Okay, see now, in the sense he says that a channel section is there, 300 mm wide and 300 mm deep it is now. Okay, 300 mm deep. The flange and ribs are 80 mm thick and the channel is placed inverted. In a sense, he says that the channel is placed inverted like this, and thickness of this flange and this web bar 80 mm. This also now 80 mm. You can see. Okay, this thickness is 80 mm. This thickness is also now 80 mm. This thickness. Okay. Uh, it is pre-stressed with 4 cables of 6 mm 5. Okay, 2 in each rib at 50 mm from the bottom. See now, in sense now he has kept 4 cables, okay, which contains 6 mm 5 these things now. Okay, 4 cables means 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and 2 in each rib. He says, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and they are 50 mm from the bottom. In the sense, this distance from the bottom is now 50 mm. Here it is now. Okay, 50 mm. Okay, calculate the maximum uniform live load when the span is 6 meter. In the sense, when this span is 6 meter, it is used as a slab section. Am I right, sir? No, this is used as a floor section. Okay, and on a span of 6 meter, how much is the uniform live load that he can put it? That's what he has asked you. Okay, and another data is the permissible compressive stress in concrete and tensile stress in concrete are 1.4 Newton per mm square and zero point 0.7 Newton per mm square respectively. In a sense, permissible compressive stress in concrete is 1.4 Newton per mm square and permissible tensile stress is 0.7 Newton per mm square. Okay, and he says assume loss is equal to 15%. Okay, assume loss is equal to 15%, and the initial force per cable is 28500 Newton. Okay, initial force per cable. Baba, I think with this, I think you can easily now start with the solution. Area can be calculated. Okay, area is uh, it is the area of this flange plus area of these two webs. Am I right now? Area of this flange is 300 mm by 80 mm. 300 mm into 80 mm is the thickness, plus what's that now, this web. Okay, this web is now, it is now 220. From here to here it will become 220. 220 into 80, 220 into 80, such two webs are there. Okay, so it will give me this much mm square or this much meter square. Okay, and now to find out the CGC. Now I would like to know where my CGC lies, because it is not a symmetrical section, it's an unsymmetrical section. So I want to find out the CGC. So take the moments about the top. Okay, so y bar is equal to sigma yda divided by sigma dA. By using this equation, you can easily find out where the CGC lies or y bar lies. Y bar. Okay, so y bar is equal to now I will write dA. dA is this 300 mm by 80 mm. This is the area. Okay, and its CG lies exactly at the center here, and lever arm from here to the top is 40 mm, because this is 80 mm. So this lever arm is now 40 mm. So now 800, sorry, 300 into 80 is the area. Lever arm is 40. Similarly, coming to the web portion now. Okay, area is 220 into 80. Am I right now? 220 into 80. 220 into 80. Such two webs are there into lever arm. Baba, lever arm you can easily calculate from the CG of this two up to the top. Okay, I think geometrical calculations you can easily do it. So it will become 180 mm. Okay, so 180 mm. So divided by respective areas, this area plus this area into 2, because two webs are there. Okay, so, because it is sigma dA it is now. Okay, summation of all the areas. So we will get 125 mm from the top. Okay, so now your y bar lies at a distance of, oh sir, now 125 mm from the top. Okay, from here to here it is now 125. This is your y bar. Okay, or I will call it as this itself is yt. Am I right now, Baba? Once you know this yt value, I think yb value can be now easily known. Okay, you can easily calculate your yb value, because 300 mm minus this 125 will give me yb value as 171. Am I right? So now, Baba, CGC lies here now, okay, and YT and YBs are now calculated. So now, Baba, your CGS lies here, because all the 4 cables are laid at the same level, so I can easily mark my CGS. CGS is now here, Baba. From CGC to CGS, this distance I can call it as eccentricity. Okay, this eccentricity can be now easily calculated by the geometry. Okay, so eccentricity can be now easily calculated as, say, either 171 minus 50 mm. Am I right now? It will give me 121 as my eccentricity. And since CGS is below CGC, eccentricity has to be assigned with negative sign. Okay, see now. So now eccentricity is now minus 121. It is assigned with minus sign. Baba, now you can start calculating the moment of inertia again, as usual, by the formula small igxx plus ah bar square. Okay, by using that equation I can calculate this I. Okay, I don't explain you how to calculate this I because it takes a lot of time. Okay, now I will move to this calculation of this WD, in the sense dead load we shall try to now calculate. Baba, you know the area. Already you have calculated the area. Okay, area is 0.0592 meter square, cross sectional area. Cross sectional area into 1 meter along the span. Okay, cross sectional area into 1 meter along the span will give me the volume. Volume into density of concrete will give me WD. Am I right? So once you know WD, I think you can easily calculate your MD. MD is WD L square by 8. So you will get so much. Okay, now in the problem he says that initial pre-stress per cable is 28500 newtons. Am I right now? Here he has given in the problem. Okay, you can see here now the initial pre-stress or initial force per cable is 28500 newtons. Okay, so now so it is, since we have got 4 cables, okay, per cable this is the force. Okay, since we have got 4 cables, okay, 4 into this much will give me the total initial pre-stressing force, F. Okay, it is so much. And also now, he has given one more thing. Assume loss is equal to 15%. So now when the loss is 15%, so naturally eta becomes 0.85. Okay, eta becomes 0.85. So now I want to know eta becomes naturally 0.85 because loss is 15%. So now I can calculate the effective pre-stress. Effective pre-stress can be calculated as eta times F. Eta I know 0.85, and initial pre-stressing force is now here 11400. Okay, so now effective pre-stress is 96900 newtons. See now what he has asked is, he has asked you to find out when this channel section is used as a floor section, how much live load you can put on this floor section. Okay, he has asked you to find out the live load. So now since I want the live load, I have to analyze the section in its final condition, because in the final condition itself, okay, the live load is now acting. In initial condition, only dead load is acting. Am I right now? So in the final condition, both dead load and live load will be now acting. So I have to analyze this section in final condition. But in final condition means there will be loss of pre-stress, as you know. So it is eta F I have to write, and your both MD and ML will be now acting now, or MT is now acting. Am I right now? MT is acting. So now what I do is, now I will write the equation for top fiber stress. Top fiber stress Ft is equal to eta F by A plus or minus eta F EYT by I plus or minus mt yt by I. Am I right now? So now, see now top fiber stress I have written the equation. So now, Baba, whenever this section is now applied with the live load, okay, whenever the live load is now applied, Baba, the floor section bends like this. Am I right now? Or otherwise, the beam bends like this. Bends like this now. Am I right now? Okay, the beam bends like this. Okay, sir. Now, Baba. So now top fiber will be under compression. Bottom fiber will be under tension. Am I right now? Top fiber will be under compression. Bottom fiber will be under tension. But now he says in the problem, the permissible compressive stress and tensile stress in concrete are 14 and 0.7. Permissible compressive stress is 14 Newton per mm square. Permissible tensile stress is 0.7. Okay. So now your top fiber stress, okay, top fiber stress Ft, okay, its permissible permissible compressive stress is 14. It is a plus because it is compressive. Okay. So now in this equation, I know everything. Ft value I know, eta f I know, a I know, eta f again I know, e I know, yt I know. E is minus 121. Okay. Yt is plus 129 because it is above CGC. I know. Baba, mt, keep it as it is because I don't know. I have to calculate it. And yt I know, I know. Baba, from this equation you can easily calculate your mt value. The only unknown here is now mt. I think I can easily calculate my mt value. Or mt can be written as md plus ml. Okay, it is so much. So call this equation number 1. Now, Baba, similarly, in working condition or in final condition, now I can write the bottom fiber stress Fb. Am I right? So bottom fiber stress Fb can be written as eta f by A plus or minus eta f EYB by I plus or minus MTYB by I. Am I right? But now, bottom fiber stress, as you know, it will undergo, since the beam bends like this, okay, bottom fiber will be under tension now, okay, and permissible tensile stress is 0.7, he says. And since it is permissible tensile stress, I am assigning minus sign to it, okay, because always plus indicates that it is the compressive stress, minus sign indicates that it is the tensile stress, okay. So it is minus 0.7. So all the values are known to me. Fill up these values. So you can, the only unknown here is now mt, okay. So mt can be now easily calculated, or this mt is now nothing but md plus ml. Am I right now? So now, but Baba, we have already calculated our md, okay. Out of this md plus ml, md is known to me. Md we have already calculated, okay. So from equation number 1, okay, ml can be now easily calculated. It will become so much, okay. But ml can be written as wl L square by 8. So now I think from this equation you can calculate wl, okay. ml you know, wl is unknown, okay. Span is 6, okay. wl, it will become so much. Similarly, from this equation again you can calculate another ml, okay sir. Now another ml can be calculated and another wl can be now calculated, okay. So wl works out to be so much. So now I have got 2 WLs. One is this, okay, third one, and fourth one is this. Out of these 2 live loads, okay, the least one I have to choose. The least one. Because if I apply this, it will cross your tensile stress, allowable tensile stress. Am I right now? So now out of these 2, I have to choose the least one. The least one is 2563. So this is the allowable live load on the beam. Okay, sir. Now this is the allowable live load. Okay. Thank you very much.